Cool. Right. Blah, blah, blah. Hi, YouTubers. This is Raw.
Oh, bang goes everybody's ears.
Apologies. Right, let's do this then. Hello, and a very warm welcome to season 4 of the Doctor Who and music podcast, Progtor Who. I'm your new old host, the Ginger Prince, Bob, and joining me on this journey upon the good ship TARDIS are my co-hosts. He inspired a range of cleaning products of such high quality, yet so affordable to all, that they can be used by all classes of service, be it domestic, professional, industrial, or even magical. If it's been nailed down, it's likely to be him for his own pleasure. It's Mr. Muscle Mary. It's Carry On Craig.
Thank you so much, Bob. I was going to say welcome back, but I'm not so sure now. Although I did like the Muscle Mary bit.
Oh, there you go. And if it's not nailed down, this warlock will have it under false pretenses under the false pretense of a Zen-like cleric. This lad will trick you into a false sense of security, like a fluffy blanket, which is beautiful to the touch, but made from extremely flammable materials, such as Dot Cotton's lacquered hair. It's the Wolverhampton Wizard. It's Suky!
Hello. Yeah.
Totally worth it. Totally worth it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're right. He puts the nails in, and like Jesus, he's a philandering carpenter and winemaking guru. When space needed a bear, this lad presented himself. He's the master of internet woodcraft in a Bob Ross styling. It's Jon.
Yay!
Hello, Jon. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. And finally, he's got all the nails, willing in at a massive 734 pounds at the towering height of 9 foot squared. His ginger beard has a dense mass of 13 heavily used Brillo pads that have been crushed and disposed of by a scrapyard man's grip. Welcome to the podcast, Cliff Shepherd.
Hey! Hello. Welcome,
Wow.
Cliff.
We got through that. Welcome, Cliff. On this podcast, we'll be reviewing the Jon Pertwee story, The Time Warrior, giving our marks out whatever we decide, reading out your feedback, find out what we'll be reviewing next time, and playing some random songs in between. So I'm going to tickle this little console stick and let's get into this.
All week he's been writing that. All week.
That was fucking awesome.
In fact, do you know what? I did it at 4 o'clock this morning because Alfred woke me up and I couldn't sleep, so I was fuming. And I was like, how can I insult them bastards? I'll fucking take it out on them. Right. So we're into... So the trailer's got in and it's just first thoughts, yeah?
Yeah.
Yep.
Lovely. The Time Warrior. I'm just going to get some first thoughts before we kick on with our full review. I'll go first, actually. So I remember this probably from VHS, and I've always adored this story. A lot of firsts, beautiful new introduction sequence, which was only for this season. Beautiful. Sarah Jane, beautiful. Just loads of cool stuff. It's a Bob script. I have loved it from the first time I saw it. And I've loved it now. I read it in target form, then I watched it with the info text, and I've really fucking absorbed this story if I didn't know it already. So I'm well chuffed. So thanks, Mark, for picking this badger. Suky, I'll come to you next. Give us your first thoughts. When did you first watch it? What do you think of the story?
I first watched this when we had the video, when the video came out, and I've loved it ever since. It's one of these stories where you just can sit there and just get absorbed with it. And you've got Jon Pertwee on top form, the beginning of Sarah Jane Smith, the start of the Sontaran Empire, and all them coming into their stories. And Robert Helms just writing a really, really good story. And I've loved it ever since I've had the video. And that's probably why I've got 2 copies of the DVD behind me.
Yeah, one
of them's Ucky, of course.
Yeah, I'm gonna say,
one of them's what?
Ucky.
Yeah.
Ucky.
Yeah. Maybe not an official BBC.
Yeah, that's why I've not liked the Facebook post when you put that up about me. Right,
what,
not
Mr.
happy about that. No, the other one that you put up.
Thievery. Oh well.
Yes.
Anyway, so that's a couple of massive positives for me and you.
Yes.
John.
Yeah. First time I've seen it, obviously. But I like the medieval setting. The Doctor was clever in it. The characters are interesting enough. The baddie was convincing. The action didn't get repetitive as it sometimes wants to do in Doctor Who. And it's a decent. But the underlining factor really is, look, Sarah Jane's in it. I'm automatically going to love it. So
she is
Good
a
one, John.
she does awesome stuff this episode. She's great.
Awesome. So that's 3 positives. Craig, I reckon I've got a feeling about you might bring this down a little bit.
Well, yes, a little bit, to be honest.
Get into that fucking microphone. Pretend it's a cock.
Oh no, I might get electrocuted from all the moisture.
Oh wow, deep.
Oh my god.
Well, I first watched it when obviously it came out on video, and I was really excited because Sarah Jane and the Sontarans, and I was left feeling really underwhelmed by it, to be honest. And I have this bit of a sinking feeling in my stomach whenever I think about the Time War. It's one of those stories that didn't live up to what I wanted it to be. Yeah. But I actually think that's really harsh because every time I kind of do watch, I think, oh, that's better than I thought. So it's a bit of a love-hate. It kind of is some really bad acting in it. And I think I failed to get by elements of that, particularly from Dot Cotton. That's enough.
In it, man.
It's enough. I'm sorry. I'm not serving wench, for God's sake. Really? It's horrendous. But the setting is great. Sarah Jane stunning. Sontaran, beginning of a good baddie. Jon Pertwee looking stunning. So yeah, you're all right, Bob. I'm not going to be oozing gush all over the place with this, but I'm going to be lukewarm.
Excellent. We like tepid. Oh, here he is, big lad, new to the PW.
Turn down your mic settings, everyone. Turn down your mic settings.
You ready? Turn down your volume. Fucking boombox is about to let us know.
I can't help being loud.
What's your first thought, Chef? Do you like this badger?
This is the first time I've seen it with the CGI, the extra on. Oh, yeah. So I was chuffed of the difference because it does blow it apart, especially the beginning bit when you're seeing the Sontaran spaceship landing. Thought that was really good. I like the story. It isn't a great one, but it's a great opening. And I said it was a really good one for a first companion for Sarah Jane. I like the Sontaran, not because they're menacing, just because when we'll go into it afterwards, I just think they're really silly. But yes. I just think it's like a potato with silver wrapped around it, and that's all someone's done. That's the idea of what they put together.
A baked potato.
Yeah,
baked potato.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you're joining the tepid camp with Craig then?
I'll go in tepid, yeah, because I think Pertwee, he knew it was his last season, and he just was going it, reading the lines. That was it.
Suky looks fucking fuming.
I don't think Pertwee knew this was his last season.
Yeah, I think he did. I think he had it to say that he was going.
We're getting deep. Right, it's time for the first song before we kick on into our in-depth review. Now, we've thought of a new method of this. We're just going to put 3 songs in, and they're going to be decided by the fate of a D20 dice, because we've got right into Dungeons and Dragons.
Proper nerds.
So let me just clarify: 3 songs. 5 of us.
Right, I'll explain it better. I'll engage my mind palace. So we've all picked 4 songs each, which is a total of 20 songs, which means there's 20 sides to a D20 dice for those that aren't D&D know, like us lot, like massive nerds and that. So we're gonna literally roll a dice to find out what song we're gonna pick. Imagine if all 3 are fucking Craigs.
Get in! The listeners they'll be just
right.
Laughing.
I'm gonna get my list. I'm gonna warm up this here D20. Are we ready, people?
I'm very excited.
It's a 17. Who is it? It's Shep's choice.
Yes.
And yeah, well done, Shep. And it's Dr. Jon. Aiko. Is it Aiko?
Yeah. Aiko.
So here we go. It's Aiko.
Start of a new era from the new land.
By Dr. Jon. Here it is. Shep's choice.
Your light fell down.
It was overexcitement there.
So excited.
YouTube's.
For YouTube, is that Cliff just biffed his microphone?
Hey,
right.
Just because it is YouTube's, by the way, Bob, can I just ask if Suky would get his knob on YouTube's? because we haven't done that for a while.
Yeah, get your dick out, Sucky. But you
Come on,
just for you.
Sucky.
Get your top off,
all the
Craig.
time.
Get your top off, Craig.
Top up,
Cold
Craig.
at the moment
this-
for that.
I'll leave this as a little thing for the end of the podcast.
Yeah, what? Getting your dick out? Amazing.
Is that
Right.
your knee you're leaning on?
I'll leave it. I'll leave it to the YouTuber's imagination.
They've got filthy imagination, our YouTubers, just like us. Cool. Right, let's get back into this. So, Fat File, you got it ready, Craig? We pull polls and shit.
Yeah, of course. I won't be reading it whatsoever, will I?
Fucking get into your microphone.
I can't get in while I'm reading.
Why
it.
don't you move your pants
Move
to
the
other
microphone
side?
closer.
Move your microphone.
Oh, move your microphone closer.
Move.
get there in the end.
Yeah.
Oh,
There you go.
There you go. Oh, it's like a fucking football commentator.
I've never done it on this side.
There you go.
You liar.
It'd be like
Yeah,
someone else is
total
doing
liar.
it.
Feels frisky.
Yeah. Feels like somebody else is doing it. Yeah.
Now turn it that way.
Just
Right,
just
go on.
blowing it. Right. Let's have some.
Oh,
Okay.
the microphone's in the way.
Jesus.
Motherfucker.
fucking
Unbelievable.
Christ. Let's see how this goes. It's going to go smoothly. I feel it. Oh, that was a grand song, that Cliff. Can you tell us what it was again, please, my friend?
Dr. John Aka.
Aka. Lovely. Well, you're listening to Progtor Who, and we're reviewing the Jon Pertwee adventure, The Time Warrior. We're about to get in deep. But before we do, I'm going to come to Craig to get some fucking facts on this story. Furnish me.
Plenty of facts on this. Time Warrior, first serial of the 11th season, shown between the 15th of December 73 to the 5th of January 74. Obviously, as you said before, introduced Sarah Jane Smith and the debut of the Sontarans, and was the first time the Doctor says Gallifrey. Jon Pertwee as the Doctor, Elizabeth Slade and Sarah Jane Smith, Nicholas Courtney, Kevin as the Brigadier, Kevin Lindsay as Commander Lynx, and David Draker as Iron. I don't talk about him really.
David Dacre.
Directed by Alan Bromley, written by Robert Holmes. He's done loads of Doctor Who stuff. I'm not going to even begin to go down the stuff that he's done because he's just stacks of it. 25 minutes each, preceded by the Green Death. So literally, we've just broke our heart saying goodbye to Joe, and followed by the invasion of the dinosaurs. Cracking viewing figures. 8.7, 7, 6.6 the first three, but part 4 comes in at 10.6 million. That's almost as big as Sucky's cock.
And what measurement are you using there? 10 million inches, millimeters, miles?
Millimeters.
Right, that's still rather large.
Well,
No wonder he's looking
It's a bit on the small side for me.
comfortable and plays himself in it. Remember, lads, we're all over 40 years old and grown men. Give us some more than fucking facts, like.
that's it. That's my facts done.
Isn't it? I felt like it should go on longer. Anyway, the most
Polar
important.
Yeah.
Polar polls, isn't it? Polar polls, Craig.
Well, am I doing it on a Sucky doing it?
No, you're doing it.
You're doing
Right.
it.
Yeah.
Polar poll.
Sucky's itching his bell end.
Yeah,
Out-
he's
out
just
fucking-
flashing it to
Yeah,
everyone.
and he's fucking
Is this going to be a
Bradford.
theme all the way through the episode? Is it?
Yeah, your massive cock. Right.
Right.
So, can we have ask us the polar poll question, please,
Yeah.
for everyone?
Right, so basically, Doctor Who Magazine in 2014 did their polar polls and they asked viewers to vote. 241 episodes at the time. They wanted to know they asked, they ranked all the rest. I want to know from you, where do you think that the Time Warrior appears in the poll of polls?
Well, do you want to ask us in order or something? So,
Yeah, but I'm fine where it came.
Well prepared there, Craig. Well prepared.
if you ask us all, then it gives you time to locate it.
Well, that's what I'm doing right now. God, I'm
Well,
gonna...
so say like the polar polls. Where do you think it came, John? And then you use the time. Yeah, I'm teaching you.
so
how to
technical.
professional.
You got told
broadcaster here.
off. You got told
Oh.
off.
So I'll do this while you're looking for that. John, where do you think it came in the polar polls?
I'm imagining it's quite highly thought of. So I am going to say 25.
Whoa, it's a high one, isn't
No
it?
idea. No idea.
Yeah.
Sucky,
It's
Sucky.
always we should always go to John last. Always.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know.
Oh, he has like
Yeah.
No, because I'm trying to mix it up a bit. Keep
Oh,
it
right.
I'm
fair.
taking over, Bob, your shit. Right, Sucky. Where do you think it comes in the poll of polls?
Who first?
You, Sucky, go on. Yeah.
I'll go on then. I'll go about 50.
50. Okay, that's Sucky's choice. Cliff, I'm coming to you next.
I'd say 72.
72. Bob, I'll include you, even though I feel like I should punish you for that.
I'm going to say 34.
34.
Ooh.
And in the right order, giving time John to reflect on all the answers. John, where are you going to put this?
25. Why not?
25. Okay. One of you is relatively close, very close, but no one got it bang on. It was Suky coming in at 50, he said, and it actually comes at 54.
Oh.
Well done, Suky.
Yeah. Close. Well done,
Same as Suky's age. Nice.
Close, but not
quite. Lovely.
Not
Thank
quite.
you very much, Craig. That was a great fact file and
You're welcome,
exciting
Dan.
poll of polls. You'll learn for next time. You say we will build.
He's been doing it for 5 years. He's going to learn for next time.
An amateur professional broadcaster.
Look, if I don't mess it up at some point, then this is not Progtor Who.
That's very true. Well, we had 2 tepids, and I want to kick on positive. So I'm going to come to you first, Suky. Let's get into it, my friends.
Okay, so this is, as I said, this is one of the stories that I first had on the VHS, and I used to play it all the while. And this is Jon Pertwee coming towards the end of his era, and he's magnificent all the way through. He knows that Sarah's a fraud, but he likes her, and he brings her on, enjoys. He's got all the interplay with David Dacre as Iron when he's messing around there, and then he takes command of the situation when he's been falsely accused of being a magician and kidnapping all these scientists from the future. Then you got Elizabeth Sladen, who's absolutely brilliant in this. For the first story, she just brings a whole lot of stuff to the episode, to the story, and she's great all the way through. And I really, really do love her in this story. A bit later on, she gets less things to do, but in this one, she was just magnificent. And then you had a small little cameo from Nick Courtney. But then you got the big thing, which is the Sontarans, the appearance of the Sontarans when they turn up. I know Cliff thought they were like Mr. Potato Head with Silverfoil, but when you got that first reveal of him just taking the helmet off and then turning strictly to the camera and the camera zooming in, right? That was brilliant. That was just one of these things that just sticks with you all the while. And it's used in clips or in programs highlighting Doctor Who. It's always that clip of the zoom into Lynx's face. And that design has just stood the test of time all the way through the classic era, and then it's sort of updated in the new Who. But that was one of the things that really, really impresses me in this story, is because you've got a believable monster with so much background, right? Because everything is said in that first serial, where you've got the clown race. They've got an ongoing war with the Routons. They don't have females in their race, so they just. It's just everything is in that first.
It's a funny one as well, because when in the Target book, Bob Holmes started to write the Target book. So there's a prologue, and it's all about how Lynx crashes into
Jingo
the planet.
Lynx,
and all that, and it's really good. But then he couldn't do it, so he passed it on, and Terence Dicks did the rest of it, and it's a sterling job he did like normal. But yeah, Lynx he's just fucking awesome, because the Sontarans went a bit shit, but in this. Like Kevin Lindsay with his tongue and just the way he is, and apparently he's a complete and utter cheeky fucker, like just funny as fuck and that. I'm a big fan of this. John, let's carry on the positive theme. But hey, just chip in, everyone. It's a chat, isn't it?
Well, I was just thinking that, like you mentioned Sarah Jane there, and the part that I liked most about this is we do see her and she's introduced and she's feisty, she's spunky, all that shit that you really want in a companion. But there's this one scene where she's found herself in medieval land, and she's gone to the and she's like arguing with Iron saying, "No, you could stop with the pretense now." Yeah. And there's a moment the camera goes right close on her face, and there is a moment of realization where she's realized, "Oh, I might be in deep shit here," and she does that so well, and like she's really blustery up to that point, and then you can see it just, and I was just like really impressed with it, and I think. She's one of the strongest parts of this, but I like Iron apart from the fact he looks like an old Jon Snow. Really, to be honest.
Suky looks like he's aroused. Go on.
No, that's that scene that John just described, where Iron is Sarah's confronted by Iron and Blood Axe. Right, that's the sort of thing that most people would do in that sort of scenario. You know, they just think it's some sort of medieval fair and these are all actors and stuff, especially if you've been brought into the past. And that was like spot on. And that's how most people would act. And then you got the way that they're all acting, which I think Craig brought up because I don't think he liked some of the way some of they were acting. It's because this is probably, maybe, I'm not sure, but this is probably the way they used to speak and talk in that sort of time. So they'd be this sort of theatrical thing.
It's a theatrical thing. Like Sarah Jane, while I love her, she does suffer from the projecting her voice issue, which early BBC stuff has, because theatre, you project your voice, that's where you're taught to act. And that's why we get like in Discovery, we were reviewing the other day about mumbling Michael Burnham. We've got fucking microphones now. That's what they're all for. Yeah. But they were still like that. And I think the acting of the Irongron and whatever his name is,
Bloodaxe.
They were quite camply villainous, I think, during all of it.
Yeah, quite stereotypical with it as well. Because the Bloodaxe reminded me of. Do you remember? I think it was Blackadder. I think they go on to see like the Captain Tom, and he goes, "That's woman's hands," and he's always going all the way through. This is the devil's work. He's always seems to whoever written that part when Robert Holmes written that, someone's nicked that straight away and used it in Blackadder.
See, I just find the acting. Go on, John.
I think it's just a trope.
Just
a trope. Yeah.
I just think it's really primary schoolish. I think it's really poor, the acting in parts. I really think that Irongron, he just shouts and it's like what John was saying about projecting his voice. It is just like, I want to turn the volume down at times. He was pissing me off that much. He was like, just say it, don't shout it.
Which theatre school did you go to?
Well, I'm obviously a member of. I don't have to disclose that. That's personal between me and my agent, Bob. Not on YouTube.
This is the thing with the leader.
Porn industry, obviously.
But this is the thing with the leader. This is the thing with the leader of these people in this castle. He has got to project. He's got to be the dominant one. He's got to shout at his.
I get that. But he does that when he's just on his own with blood. He does it. I get it in time when he does it, but other times it's ridiculous. It's silly. But going back to that scene you said when Sarah Jane first comes in, I think that's brilliant. I think that scene is just brilliant. I agree with Suky that is exactly what you would do. You're trying to contextualize it where you are. You're in a theme park, you're whatever, fancy dress place. And I love that. But yeah, there's just several bits that really grate me. But there are other bits as well that I think are stunning. But certainly the acting of the two main men. And it's like they've got those minions in that episode 1 when they first sat at the table. And they just sat behind them, just waiting on the floor for an instruction. They stand up like little... Well, you know, it's just ridiculous. Some of the acting in this leaves a lot to be desired, to be honest.
I think some of the background acting, like the guards when they're coming up, and the guards was trying to be funny.
They're just extras, aren't they? Really?
Yeah, those extras. But David Dacker, who does the Irongron, I think he did well. Yeah. You know what I mean? He's famous for being really projects himself forward. A lot of his other stuff, what he does as well. He's really loud spoken, supposed to be a northern gruff, isn't he? Really. So out of everyone, I thought he did really well.
You do have that sort of like loud, outspoken thing, but the thing that saves it for me is it Robert Holmes who's written it?
Yeah.
Listen, the fact
and there's such a lot in this whole series before that are really. I know I did hear it in the fact file, but I've got a short memory span. You do, you fucker. Got me point now. No filling. I'm gonna. Robert Holmes. Right. There's a few bits in this that are really, really well done. I really like the way that Sarah Jane is initially opposing the Doctor. Doesn't just drop on in a simplistic manner onto doing what the Doctor says. She's actually opposed to it at one point. There's the interaction and the whole plot thing is really intricately done and really well done because you don't feel lost in it. Yeah. Because there's sometimes in Doctor Who where they do the complicated plot thing and then nobody has a fucking clue what's going on because it doesn't connect well enough. But this is just a perfectly executed story written really well.
Tidy. A nice tidy.
Perfect. Yeah. It didn't feel padded. I think there's a few people I've read to come onto this saying that it should have been 6-part, but I think they would have ended up padding it up with a load of shit.
Do you know why the people were saying this, like Barry Letts and people like that? Because they wanted to give, maybe right, so June Brown, Dot Cotton, more of a, because you didn't get to see it. And I think the things you did see, they did look a bit shit. But apparently there was a lot, she did a lot more, or could have done a lot more. I mean, just to touch on Elizabeth Sladen, who is just fucking amazing. Just on her feistiness and everything at the beginning, the way she was written and the way she portrayed it straight away. And just to give a bit of kudos to Jon Pertwee, because he could be the old pompous sort of sexist and all that kind of thing. And he did do a bit of tongue-in-cheek, hoot coffee and all that. And then he goes, I'm going to make my own coffee. Like just had such lovely banter straight away. And they got on really well straight away. It was just such a lovely thing, and I think you could tell in Jon Pertwee's thing, although he obviously got on amazingly well, with Katie Manning and Joe Grant, who wouldn't, but it was sort of seamless straight away because you had a very different companion, but like rather than just a shouty one. I'm an independent woman. She was very much like this. She was just awesome from the get go, straight away. A pair of them, brilliant.
I thought that scene was brilliant in actually making it distinctly different as a companion to Joe. It was literally Joe would have done that. What she did, isn't she? And now we've got this new. And I loved that scene. Was one of my favourite ones actually. Very playfully done.
Yeah, this is the height of women's live coming to the forefront of our society Terrence Dicks probably asked Robert Downes to put that.
How dare they put contemporary politics or culture into a Doctor Who?
It doesn't do that anymore, does it?
It doesn't do that.
So that was written in by Robert Downes, and then you got a scene later on where Sarah's in the scullery or the kitchen area, whatever it is,
trying to get into rebel.
Yeah, and she
goes,
What subservient poppycock? You're still living in the Middle Ages, and then she realizes,
it's class.
She's in the Middle Ages,
but she's kick-ass. But she's not like it's not full on over top in your face. It's just she's just so brilliant, and she's fearless as well. Like when John was saying before, the fact that she's rationalizing this, and just going, "This is bollocks. You need to calm down, mate. What the fuck is it?" And then she does dawn and realize that it's whatever. But even then, she just is brilliant and just like. I sometimes forget how glorious a companion she is and was.
Then you've got that's also highlighted by the way that she sort of forces Edward of Wessex to go and kidnap the Doctor, right? Because they're just going to let the whole thing play out, whatever's happening in Irongrand's castle, and just leave them to it. But she's the one that goes, well, we've got to go around kidnapping the magician. We'll get him and use him against him. Yeah. That's the sort of thing you don't usually see in other companions. Maybe First Doctor, William, Ian and Barbara, but the others, it doesn't really happen that much.
When they do manage to kidnap the Doctor, and she says, "This isn't a rescue. This is a capture." That was proper badass.
Yeah, because it's almost she's not just going along with what the Doctor does. She's actually forming her own opinion. And okay, it's the wrong one in this instance, but that's exactly right because she doesn't know him and she's there as a journalist, and that's what she sees putting it together. So you really do get that. I'm not just going to do everything you say because.
Well, that's what I mean about the cleverness of it, of the writing and the script.
It was good.
It's just maybe some things like Iron Grong. A couple of his lines annoyed me, like pickling somebody in boiling oil. That's not how you do pickling. I mean, I don't know if anybody else knows about pickling. But that's not how you do it. You don't put things in boiling. That's called frying.
Yeah, frying.
That's called frying. Yeah.
Or boiling. It's completely wrong. You don't pickle that way.
I like the way the Doctor in this was, as we said, he was very Doctor-ish. So you started off with the science, but he was still very much your peace lover, wasn't he? So like when he got rid of the Iron Grand's troops when they were attacking the castle, it was basically by stink bombs, which I thought was really sweet and really fun. It was like a big kid at heart.
Oh no, definitely.
That scene is because again Terrence Dicks when he read the script, Robert Downes had put that it was going to be a big full-on battle between knights and Irongrand's men, and then realised we ain't going to be able to afford that sort of budget. So he goes, we'll just do it slightly doctorish way and use stink bombs, and that's the whole thing with that. So
I thought it worked really well, that bit. The bit and there's one bit which niggles me, and this is why it loses a point to me that it's not perfect, is the Professor Rubish. I just think it was badly placed because you've got some cult jester of a bloke walking around, and he's obviously not hypnotized, by links or anything, and it just comes in and out. And I just thought that was a bit badly written because he doesn't have any place within it.
He's not realism to that either.
And you don't grind a monocle that way. That's not.
No,
that was so weird.
That's not how you make fucking lenses. Come on, mate.
On a fucking stone grinder as well, like. It's going to be shiny and the right fucking thickness and right angles and all that.
I can understand why he was there though, because they need somebody to explain the plot in that the bit where all the scientists are, because otherwise the Doctor will be just walking around figuring it all by himself, not really speaking to anybody. He needs somebody there to be able to tell what's going on. And that was just a comedy relief as well. Sorry, Craig.
As I say, I was also so tongue-in-cheek. Even the name Rubish, it sounded like rubbish. And it was like, and it did make me laugh. I didn't hate him, but he weakened the plot for me. It made it what was, I thought, quite a realistic drama. And you can imagine he just brought brought it down.
Was it not improved by Sarah John like wearing a nice dress at some point? Because that was a particular high.
Was that what it did?
Not improve it.
I thought when she wore the Sarah Jane wore that maid outfit, I thought that was
yeah.
Well, the thing is, Elizabeth Sladen has probably had to walk in.
Sarah to her friends.
Sarah's had to walk in with all that. She's had the what was it, the tunic that she had originally, and then she's got the maid's outfit on top, and then on top of that she's got the friar's outfit. So she's had to walk into the castle with all three costumes on. Then she's discarded them one by one. She could have gone a bit further. In
the target book, it's described as boy clothes. That's what it says in the book, and she doesn't like the boy clothes apparently. So
because it makes her a bit clammy.
I don't know, Cliff. I don't know where it goes. I don't know how it goes. I tell you what, let's have a little break for a bit of a song before we get any further.
Please.
Honestly, what was I thinking? Let's get Shep on the show because that will make it.
I've never found myself not clammy women before, but I've got this vision in my head that I'm really struggling to get rid of. Actually,
clammy.
Craig, think mango chutney, and you'll be all right.
Mango chutney, Ingo Dode, mango chutney. Right, I'm gonna fucking roll a D20.
Always roll a dice.
Yes. I'm gonna roll a dice. So this is for the next song.
What if the number is the same as the previous?
Yeah, I was gonna come to this because D&D is a brilliant for if you do this, if you do that, we round down. Okay, round down. Always round down. So here we go. D20 on the roll. 10. So number 10 is it's Suky, right? Now, before we go on, Suky, you sent me your songs. By the way, this is Natural Science by Rush. All of your songs appear to be picked by someone else. Could it be Mark Atkinson by any chance? Suky?
No.
With that particular song, I would have thought.
I'm not knocking it because there's some fucking great choices in there, but I was like, he has not picked these fucking songs.
I have picked them actually. What I did was
you picked them from Mark's list, yeah.
What I did, I went back to the, what should be the ideology of Progtor Who, which is prog rock, and I thought, okay, I'll just bang in what is the best prog rock songs out there, and it came out with 25, and I went, play that one, and I came out with them 4.
Well,
that's a valid enough reason.
Yeah. So that's where you got 4.
I've not seen these songs. I won't recognise anyway, to be fair.
Nobody has.
Yeah. So here we go. This is Suky's choice. It's Natural Science by Rush. Cool.
Clammy.
Mango
I'll just pop into Lou.
You pop away, John.
I've just had a text message from my daughter.
On Raw. We're on Raw. Don't forget, we're on Raw.
No, it's all right. She's just she became an auntie 2 days ago.
Oh, lovely!
Yeah. So she just got married. So now they've just named the daughter as well. So she's been sending me pictures while I've been.
What's the name? Oh, don't say name because it's on Raw. Yeah.
I'm just gonna text off Cliff's mum.
He was in Salford yesterday, He came up on Salford in the signs.
I was on the work related things. I was
work related.
Were you in Salford yesterday?
I was, yeah. I was right near
fantastic.
the MEN on a work-related mission, obviously, because
Yes.
I do what they say. These people,
Yeah.
whatever it is, I don't even know.
It works for Boris. Bob works for
Exactly.
Boris.
Yeah, I'm one of Boris's gang.
Agents.
Yeah,
right.
one of his agents. I'm a complete and utter fucking asshole. Sorry, carry on, Suki. You want to say?
I was just going to say, I took that, the photo I've got, I took it down from the wall, and I thought I was going to put it up, and I forgot all about it. I left it up here, and then I thought,
looks
okay,
great.
now that's going to be there whenever we record. And I can't get a background anyway because of the amount of DVDs and different colours in the background. Right, it just can't pick up a single colour to be able to put a background up, which is annoying.
I'm going to try that for next time.
Behind you.
Yeah.
But putting a green screen there or a different coloured screen, that's what they want. Yeah, and I don't want to be messing around.
And to be honest,
just
it
leave
looks cool.
Yeah,
it looks okay like that anyway.
You could just expand your beard this way and over, and then it'll cover.
I don't think that'll work somehow.
Yeah, dye your beard green and sort of put it in a
Dye my beard green.
Like you're floating.
Technically, Suki, could you part your beard and put it above your head and tighten the knot?
Oh,
technically, John, no, I can't, and I don't want to.
I didn't ask you to. I just wondered if you could. Yeah.
Oh, so we've
I
got
could do it with my pubes.
Yeah.
I was going to say that.
I could do it with my bum hair.
Oh no, I shaved mine.
YouTubers, you're welcome. Right, we're back in. We're going to go back in. We're going to go back in. Right.
Oh my
Well,
God.
that was a fabulous choice, Suki. Thank you very much. What was that called again?
It was called Natural Science by somebody.
By Rush.
Rush. That's it, Craig. Well done. Thank you. Thank you for listening.
Natural Science by Rush. Thank you very much for that choice.
I love that album actually by them. Rush is
Can I ask?
No one knows.
Sorry, can I ask again, Bob?
Yes.
You say when you roll a d20, if we pick the same number again, it ramps down. And what if somebody picks 1 and then 1 is rolled again?
Goes to 20.
We have to go up then. There's only one way, isn't there? You can't
Yeah,
go
that's
mine.
That's just fucking madness.
It's D&D, man. You just make it up as you go along. It's brilliant. Right, you're listening to Progtor Who, and we are reviewing the Jon Pertwee adventure, The Time Warrior. It's been fairly positive so far. I'm going to come to you first, Craig, because I feel for you. You've been quiet. I think like you've been looking for your snorkel to fucking say something for about 20 years. So go on then. Give us hold your breath.
Well, I'm gonna kind of slash the mood a little bit. And talking about slashing, that wasn't an actual deliberately put in there. It was just quick off the head. Is that bloody robot, the weapon? It's just ridiculous. So Lynx creates the wonderful robot, the soldier, that literally slashes this thing in a straight line all the time. I mean, how good a defense is that? Because who is going to go and stand that close right in front? He doesn't do parallel, doesn't do sideways. He just slashes up and down all the time. It is totally ridiculous. He doesn't even turn around. It is the most weapon I've ever seen.
But right, okay. I can work that out into the canon. He's been the original robot is controlled by Lynx as he walks into the room, right? And then when he's in the courtyard, he's controlled by Irongron, who has no idea what he's doing with the control. So all he's going to be doing is pressing one button up and down like that. So it's the same movement. It's always going to be the same movement, up and down, up and down.
It's like a 1980s video game, isn't it?
Yeah.
And also, Craig, I didn't realise how much of a skilled sword master you were.
Oh my God, I am absolutely amazing with a two-handed sword.
Yeah,
good at dual fighting.
Technically, he's a battle master.
Yeah.
Battle master. That's
like a nice spear.
Wow. Any more euphemisms? Sorry, Chris, go on.
You should cease that, mate.
Well, I was going to stick with the robot for a little bit more because one of the worst scenes in the whole thing is when Jon Pertwee is the robot and he stood there and you can actually see his flesh through it. So all these, oh my God, it's a robot. Let's back away. You can see his chin. And
but
it looks crap.
But these are medieval.
It was clever.
Yeah.
I like that bit when he comes out.
These are all medieval people. They ain't seen a robot-like thing anyway. What they're going to do? They're just going to they just whatever's there. They just assume it's an unliving person, right? An undead person. They're just going to. They ain't going to assume. Oh, I can see a bit of flesh. There's somebody in there.
No, it just looked bad. It looked really
And
poor
also,
in execution and design.
the sword skills were a lot better, I thought, Craig, as well.
Yeah.
Because he did side to
Well,
side, he did two at
He
once.
did do
Yeah.
side to side.
Can I? You got to point out the negative things when these things come on, but like the Doctor's hand-to-hand combat thing with the guards at the gate.
Oh my god.
What the fuck's that all about?
That's
Venetian.
Guys in the medieval.
Venetian.
People.
Venetian are Keating.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he didn't touch him, mate. It was stupid.
But that's the thing with Venetian
Yeah,
Akido.
yeah.
All he has
Yeah,
to
yeah,
do
yeah.
is just
Yeah,
use
yeah.
Venetian
Course it
Akida. What
is.
the hell is
Yeah.
that? It's not got a set of Venetian blinds or something.
Well, he does all the
So-
time. I quite
Yeah.
like that. It's a nice little bit of a story arc.
It's
for
something
him.
that John used to do
Yeah.
in his
Yeah, I
storyline.
didn't mind
Save him having to carry a gun
I
or
mean,
anything
yeah,
like
but you
that.
say that. What about
Yeah.
Dr. Spock? Sorry, Dr. Spock. People out, don't they? Mr. Spock in
At
Star
least he
Trek.
grabs them. Yeah, but he grabs them though, doesn't he?
All right, so I mean, like it's just such a soft touch.
Because it's
Yeah.
just like
It
that.
was just stupid.
But it's,
You're not going to knock someone out like that.
And it was shot from so far away as well that it just didn't look realistic
and
at
also,
all.
it's
Yeah.
medieval times. There's so much pestilence and disease. They're probably about to die anyway. So
He
it's-
could have breathed
Well,
on him and given COVID. Boom.
I wonder if that was the excuse for them being literally the shittest firing squad ever.
Yeah.
Oh
Like
my god!
Stormtrooper
Yeah.
aims. He was running about that place for ages, just dodging bullets.
There was also, I must say, there was a few instances when he first uses the gun and they've got the sound of the gun slightly off.
Yeah.
They shoot and you hear they go. Poof, poof. You get it slightly off the way the way they fitted it in.
Didn't notice that.
I
wasn't paying
did.
attention at that point.
Being an
I know-
Adobe After Effects man, I saw it.
Notice how crap we were at the end of episode 2, the Doctor's running around that bloody courtyard trying to dodge all the straws and the barrels, and no one. There's the Doctor and about 8 men, and not one of them can come
That was
close to
that
him.
was pathetic.
I'm just
And all-
really bad.
And also, there's the time when there's a sword fight, and the swords literally have a rounded over end because they're stage swords. You can prod it at people and it won't hurt them. It's just, yeah.
I'm enjoying this. I think we're seeing the real side to this story because I know it's got its strengths. Sarah Jane, the Sontarans, we know all that. But when you
Well,
get down to the real hay, it's crap.
Well, it's like it's like the attack when Iron goes to attack the other castle, and literally he's going to siege the walls, and there's like 4 of them and a ladder. It's not fucking Helm's Deep, is it?
No.
it's very much what do you call it? Like role playing kind of thing. You know, them dudes on the weekend that go and like dress
Just
up
put
and
it in
do
your
role-
mind. It's all in your mind.
Yeah,
Lob.
exactly. You got to give it a bit. I mean, do you know what? I mean, the character of Lynx was so strong. They named a fucking body spray after him, possibly the greatest
it
body
reeks.
spray of all time.
Yeah.
It was, isn't it? It's probably my favorite. Lynx Africa.
I love it. Leeds Africa.
Lynx Africa's my favorite of all the lynxes.
Jesus.
Like, what?
Is this
going on to
1995?
Yeah,
What's
we're
going
going
on,
on to this
lads?
now.
What happened? Nothing else happened after '95. It's all shit from then on. So yeah, Lynx Africa, man. What? I mean, that is
The
greatest
entire
of all
of
lynxes.
the entire of your music career you're talking about here. Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah. and it was 20. It's fucking 25 years ago now, isn't it? That's mental, isn't it?
Yeah,
Unbelievable.
it is.
Day the music died. But yeah, Kevin Lindsay is as Lynx, fucking brilliant. And whatever about, I know it's not the best prosthetic when you look at it now.
It nearly killed him. Did you hear what he
It's
collapsed?
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He collapsed while he was filming it,
Damn
and then
your hand.
in '75 he died.
Yeah, he had a heart condition, Dad. He had a heart
No, I blame it
condition.
on that fucking costume. Can you imagine wearing that, running
Well,
around?
he wore it again, didn't he? As Field Marshal. What's he called?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes,
but it
I-
felt such a helmet most of the time.
But I love that. But that's what, oh my god. Wow. But that's what, I love that with the Sontarans. When they brought them back, they kept them like short and stocky.
Yeah.
It's when they got like fucking lanky
Yeah.
and that. They just look stupid.
Yeah, they did.
Well,
Yeah.
were they always hairy? Because I mean, I
No.
was surprised to see that Sontaran has been a hairy beast.
Yeah, I
they-
think
they
they're
were-
wax now.
They're not as hairy in future, I don't think, as this. I think it looks more wiry and a bit more kind of roguish in this than usual. That's
Looks
my
like pubes.
yeah.
But
Maybe
the-
to go to a
the
good barber.
Space pubes.
This
Yeah.
is a good thing. This is that line that Robert Holmes put in about them being a clown race,
Yeah.
so they could use the same prosthetic again a year later
It's good
for
though.
Robert Lindsay to come back as the same sort of character, but
There was-
different person.
There was a nice little thing to this as well with the Ruton thing because Bob Holmes just chucked that in. He used to do that, just chuck in something, and it creates a backstory without
Yeah.
just one line. So when when Terrence Dicks came to write a script when Bob Holmes was outgoing story editor or whatever, that it was Horror Found Rock, and he did it from the Routons' point of view, and it was all this whole thing just based off that one line. How he got Horror Fang Rock as well, because them two used to like quite fucking around basically. I mean, they were like like these are little jokes they did on each other that we don't know. It just benefited us Doctor Who fans because great stories written by the pair of them.
Yeah, well, Robert Holmes didn't want to write a pseudo-historical story that he wrote, right? And so that was when he came to commissioning Terrence Dicks, that was his revenge to say you've got to write a historical story but set in a lighthouse. So that's the whole thing with Horror of Fang Rock.
Yeah. No, Horror of Fang Rock, another brilliant story.
That is a good one.
Well, the other link with that one as well is Alan Rowe, who played Edward Wessex in here, was Colonel Skinsdale in Horror of Fang Rock a few years later.
Right, here's a question for you. I just correct me if I'm wrong, so I might have misheard this, but the guy that plays Hal, the Archer,
Jeremy Bullock,
is he Boba Fett?
Yeah.
In Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, and he came back in 2010, the other one as well. He came back for that. I think that's how they got his helmet. Because if you look at his blonde hair like that, it's the same shape as the Boba Fett helmet.
Right.
It's nice and bobbed.
Well, because Boba Fett's now based on the Attack of the Clones one, isn't it? Is that right? Is he New Zealand dude, like New Zealand accent or whatever?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Yeah. Because
Tamara Morrison.
I thought I heard that correctly. That was quite a cool little thing.
The character of Hal though that Jeremy Bullock plays. If you saw the documentary that goes with the DVD. On the DVD, Barry Letts did say that there was talks of actually bringing him on board the TARDIS.
Oh yeah, I heard that. I thought it would have been brilliant.
Yeah, so it would have been like a Jamie character traveling with the Doctor, somebody from the past.
I'll tell you one thing I did notice from the DVD on the info text: every cunt has been in fucking Z cars. I mean, like I've never seen Z cars, but I know everyone that was in this was in Z cars.
I imagine Z cars in the 70s and 60s was similar to
the Bill
Casualty.
Yeah,
now,
I remember Z cars.
Every fucker's in Casualty, aren't there?
Yeah. Well, I think Z Cars was like the forerunner to the Bill. Bill went twice weekly. Z Cars was like twice weekly in the 60s and 70s. And then he had all his spin offs as well, Softly and Barlow and all that stuff.
Yeah. Well, just an interesting fact because I've never seen Z Cars. I might watch it.
It's shit.
Right. Isn't shit brilliant?
Yeah,
I mean,
studio-based dramas in their crime dramas. That's it.
I mean, for me, I just love this story, and I was dead happy that I've read the target novel and then, watched it as well. Anyway, give us a quick any final thoughts that you really want to get out there. Let's do it.
I got a couple.
Go on.
Sorry, Craig. I've written a bit of a list. There's a bit in it where for nowadays, someone watching it will think, well, brilliant, typical BBC. There's a bit where Jon Pertwee turns around to Rubbish and he goes, I must be off now. I'm looking for a young girl.
Yes.
And I thought, it's calling Sarah Jane a young girl. And even at the times in the early 70s, with a lot of different rights and, I thought that was even wrong then to even say that. Especially,
it is descriptive of her, though, isn't it? That's the whole point, isn't it?
Would you use girl as a? I don't even.
Well, because you wouldn't have the connotations that we would have had today.
Yeah,
she's to him. She would be young. She would be a girl.
I can see young, but a young woman, a woman.
I think young girl. In terms of.
I think it was written for comedy facts more than anything.
Didn't pick up on that, but yeah, I mean, probably people would fucking make a song and dance about it now, anyway.
Yeah, and there's another bit when Iron Gron turns around and says, "The gall of a camel." You wouldn't know what a camel was.
What? Because they weren't invented.
Yeah, they didn't invent camels until way after, until they did that film with that Jesus bloke. Really famous.
They would know. They wouldn't know about.
His career was quite short.
Know about camels because it's the Middle Ages, isn't it?
The Middle Ages.
So it's kind of.
About 12th century, isn't
they
it?
still know about North Africa, and there'd still be.
But maybe not Iron Gron.
Yeah, but remember, the King is also fighting in the Crusades, isn't he? Which is
and the Crusades as well.
The Crusades.
So they would know about the camel. Some of them
camels fucking everywhere during the Crusades.
and they had the zoo, London Zoo.
Of course. Yeah.
Some of Iron Gron's men has probably, even Iron Gron himself, probably fought in the Crusades and he's come back. That's
this
for,
is
he
what I love
probably
about
has
this
seen.
podcast is the educational value that
Yeah.
camels were invented before medieval times. There you go.
Well, you got the other thing, which is I saw on IMDb, was they got like orange carrots 400 years before they actually became orange at all.
What
Well,
colour
so
were
you got
carrots
all
before? This is
there were,
fascinating.
no, there was carrots, but they weren't orange, were they? There was some other colour or something.
What
No,
colour were
orange
carrots?
is a relatively recent thing.
Yeah.
Orange.
Yeah.
I didn't know this. What colour were carrots like? More
There
earthy,
would be purple ones and all
Yeah.
sorts.
different
Black.
shades of
Purple root
carrots.
White
vegetables.
ones.
Why did they make them
There's a lot of
conform?
colours.
Was it genetics?
Just
What
the
a
way they're
variety of
farming
the
it
plate.
and the way they've created it.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna look into some carrots because I'm a ginger, and used to get called carrot top. Well, that's bollocks, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't.
No, not
Why?
really, because
Why?
they do exist now.
Yeah.
I mean, if they called you carrot top in the medieval times, yeah, that'd be wrong. Carrot top now.
Actually, incorrect.
They're right.
But at least I know what camels are.
Actually, the
what
carrot-
the fuck are we talking about? This is amazing.
Maybe we should
Valid-
give that
valid
carrots out of
points.
10 at the end.
You got a lot of valid points, please.
Oh,
Oh,
okay. Sorry, go on, Craig.
No, go on.
Norman Ninny. He says Norman Ninny. I like that. I'm going to
Nice.
use it in conversation more. I just thought I'd tell you that.
I
Ad
love
lib
the-
line.
I love the.
It's a bit like the narrow.
It's a,
which
I
thought was
do
awesome.
like it. It's an almost 1,000-year-old gag that you're going to be using there, Craig.
I'm going to use
Chris,
that.
Oh,
Yeah, I
oh,
actually used it today in a meeting. It says
Yeah,
because
you Norman Ninny.
Norman Ninny from the people down south we had to deal with in Vodafone.
There you go. There we go. Craig's chomping at a bit. Go on, have a little say.
I just want to ask about the end of part one. It's brilliant. We all said that earlier on. But when he's licking his lips so much like a lizard, does that ever happen again, or does that only happen?
Yeah,
at
no,
the end?
he keeps doing that like little thing like that.
But
And I
does
think he
any
does
other Sontaran do it?
No,
in
it's
other
only
stories,
up-
or does it go?
It's just his little thing to the
Yeah.
character.
I
He
thought
really,
that
he
was
really
genius.
fucking did loads of cheeky things. He's fucking ace, Kevin Lindsay.
Yeah, I thought I did a real scariness to it, actually, a real alienness.
Yeah.
To it.
Yeah.
I really, really loved it, and I was racking my brain thinking, I don't think I've ever seen a Sontaran do that before.
No, it was his little thing, I think.
Right.
So yeah. Have you got any more bits that you've got to get off your chest, Craig? While
I want to talk about the probic vent. I love the probic
Oh
vent.
yes,
'cause
the
it's-
probic vent.
I mean, I love Donna when she does, back of the neck. It's one of the best lines. But coming back to this, I think it's a really great idea that the way he legitimized it by saying, so you can face your enemy full on. I think it's really cool. Just a nice little clever scripted design.
Yeah,
All right, yeah.
And then the original thing there as well is that in the original script, it was a doctor that shot the arrow into the private vent. So they changed that because they couldn't really have the doctor killing the villain.
yeah. There
So
was
Awesome.
it was
Hal
basically
Pugh.
Hal that got his spear in the hole.
Oh,
It's
it
the way,
wasn't-
innit?
Of course he did. What a guy. I mean, there's some lovely scenes which were in this because obviously Terrence Dicks wrote the book, Bob Holmes the preface, but it's like there's loads of little extras which are quite quirky and funny that they took out of the recording, which are in the target novel. Obviously, Terrence Dicks knew what they were because he edited the scripts. So yeah, and it was coming up on the info text was quite a nice little thing, I thought. Have you got anything left in you, Craig? Is that your?
No, I'm done. That's me done, really. I think.
Beautiful,
Yeah,
beautiful.
that's me done.
Sucky has definitely got a piece to say. He's raring to go with his green beard. YouTube.
No, I've got a green beard. Right. I've got a couple of things. One is it's a blink and you'll miss it role for Bella Emberg. Right. So
No
London.
way.
Yeah.
I missed
see-
it.
You see, if you watch the scene in the scullery where you got all the three of the serving wenches there.
Yeah.
One of them is
It's
Bella
part
Emberg.
4. Is this
Yeah.
where she's trying to poison it with the stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, Bella
The one that's
Emberg.
in the background, and then she comes into the middle, stands in the middle. That is
That's-
Bella Emberg.
Because she comes into it again, doesn't she? She's got a cameo with David Tennant. Is it David Tennant's episode there? Bella Emberg? Oh, hang on.
No,
Yeah,
I think
it
she's
is-
Sarah
it's-
Jane Adventures, wasn't it?
What's it called? Love and
Oh
Monsters.
yeah, she does. Yeah,
Have an appearance in there very briefly.
comes back
when
on
she's
that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Sorry.
There we go.
Uh,
Educating you.
David Dacre, right? He's from my neck of the woods. He's born in Bilston, so he's one of these the actors that I've followed for quite a while because he was born in Bilston. So I followed him through Boone, Dick Turpin, and Only
Boone,
Fools and
yes.
Horses.
And horses. And was he ever in the Bill?
He probably was. Everybody was.
Probably.
Is it Time Bandits? Is it
Yeah,
Time
he was-
Bandits?
Time
the
Bandits.
the greatest of all the dwarf films.
Brilliant,
thing I remember in Mouse from, as I said, was Boone, but also Dick Turpin. If you ever watch Dick Turpin, that was absolutely brilliant.
Dick Turnip's eye.
With Richard L. Sullivan.
He's from this neck of the woods as well, isn't he? Or is it one? It's one of the highwaymen. You up York way. Have you much left there, Suck, Maester General?
Yeah, I quite like the fact that the Doctor brings back his fencing skills because he used them in the Sea Devils, and then he had to. That was all them skills came into the fore when he's keeping all these people at bay. When he's trying to.
It's a shame they didn't bring the noise, the sound effects from that fight because it was so fucking weird. Not only the soundtrack, but in the Sea Devils, it was like boing, 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 like when they were like clashing swords, the Master and him.
We have the start of the first showing of the new title sequence of the opening sequence, the time tunnel, and the new diamond logo. This is all in this first. This is the first serial that's used that.
First and only
That looks like he's going in a coffin, doesn't it? Because it's like his hands are like that. It always looks a bit squashed in, almost like a mummification process going on there.
It's a cool one, isn't it? I really like this title sequence.
Yeah, I do as well. Yeah, definitely.
And this was like classed as a Christmas story because it was shown over the Christmas and New Year's. That's probably why it had such really good ratings. Start of a new thing. We have. Elizabeth Sladen wasn't the first choice for Sarah Jane Smith. Was another actress cast, and she was paid off, right? Because there was
surprised.
The story is there was no chemistry between her and Jon Pertwee, but it turns out it's more likely the fact that April Walker, who's the actress, was quite a tall actress, so she would have been on sort of level par with John. And John probably told I don't really want to.
Like that.
Yeah, so he sort of vetoed the idea. So they quietly got rid of her, paid her off, and said, "Look, you've been paid for the whole season." And then they recast Elizabeth Sladen. And then a bit later on,
God, they did to a degree, like because Liz Sladen is just amazing.
And they never said anything about it. And it only came up in documents that were found in the last few years that there was another actress that had been cast. There had been rumours, but nobody knew who that actress was. Then they turned out when April Walker did an interview with DWM, and she did say, "I was paid off for the whole season, but the thing is, every time I had to appear in a BBC production, they used to take it off that fee." So she was never properly paid for any BBC.
Should have gone and worked for ITV.
Yeah, exactly.
She probably jobs from them. Yeah, her most famous role up until that point, I think, was in 40 Towers, where she played one of a couple that were about to come into the hotel, but they were unmarried, and Basil was just going a bit mental about having an unmarried couple in the hotel.
Of the time. That was great. That's okay. I didn't know that. You got any more left in you? Are you done? You done?
There's,
of course he has. Of course
I have. I like the scene. Shut up. I like the scene right at the beginning where Iron Gron and Blood Axe first meet Lynx, and he comes out and then claims the whole of Earth.
Yeah, but that shitty little flag thing. Beautiful spaceship, and it comes out of a flag.
It's like a music stand, isn't it, with a piece of cloth on it?
It's ludicrous. It's just stupid, but it's just so the way these guys
seriously as well. Like he is proper like, it's his bad planet with a shit stick.
There's a line that Terence Dicks wrote into the story. Right? It wasn't Robert Arm's line, apparently. It was one that Terence wrote. It's just to describe Jon Pertwee. And it was the long shank rascal with the mighty nose.
I love that.
Some great lines like that.
John didn't like it the way he looked. And my final bit... Lynx is a bugger, basically. He's a bastard, right? In that the Doctor is there negotiating with him, saying, "Look, I'll do all this, send all these people back. I'll make sure you're okay. I'll save all these people." But now he just turns around and goes, "No, I'm not doing that," and shoots him. So this is the Sontaran race altogether. One more, Iron Gron.
Yeah.
Original choice for that.
Bob Hoskins.
Yeah, Bob Hoskins. And he recommended David Decker, didn't he?
Yeah.
Imagine that. Bob Hoskins, Decker. You know what I mean? Lovely. Well, thank you for that informative section, Suki. John, have you got anything
better than my
like
fact file?
It was actually a lot more.
It was.
I'll keep it briefer because
thanks,
I've
John.
got a lot more notes. The castle explosion and how unbelievably shit that was.
It was, wasn't it?
That's a point I made.
Yeah.
And we don't at any point get a shot of the TARDIS.
No,
inside of the TARDIS.
this is when it's just come back really for it going round and that.
But it would have been nice to have Elizabeth Sladen's reaction to that.
Yeah. Yes, that would have been true. Yeah.
Yeah,
And that's pretty much it.
But it's like also
you get it in the book. You get it in the. I know you don't obviously on the screen, but in the Target book, you get a little bit of that. And it's
I don't count them as canon, but
yeah, it's also nice to see Nick Courtney in it, even though it's like a 5-minute
it's only
scene.
5 minutes.
Yeah, 5-minute scene. Right, just to set the story up and then go on his way.
Yeah, but he had to rush off and play a gig with Queen, Freddie Mercury.
There's also
he did a bit. He does a bit, doesn't he? He does look a bit like.
It's that stash.
I didn't realise that was fake for years, and then I realised it moved quite a bit.
Yeah, definitely. I know, and you
I
can
was a
see
pain at one point.
you can see the glue. It's either glue or something that resembles glue. John, is that you? Have you got a couple more points?
let me have a quick look through my notes to see what important I wrote down. Some tyrants have huge helmets. I didn't know. It's just Sarah Jane in a Renaissance Fair nightmare. But I mean, it pretty much Sarah Jane was the glue for this one for me. So no, I don't have anything else.
Yeah, she was great.
The fact the Doctor gets knocked out too easily again.
Yeah.
He did get a good slap, didn't he? Suki, and then
the other thing is I quite like the location scenes that they did. They're actually using a proper castle, and they utilised it for both locations for Edward of Wessex and for Irongrun. But
proper medieval castle as well.
Yeah, proper castle, like to be able to get everything shot on location.
Cool. Cliff, let's get you finished off, my friend.
Yeah, sorry, just to say, absolutely beautiful scenes for I should say for once, really. Sometimes Doctor Who is a bit dodgy, but it looked like the full set, full scene looked beautiful, the outside shots as well, especially for an opening episode. One thing what I thought was a little bit strange was the fact that when Irongrun brings back the Doctor's coat for him just before he tries shooting him, I thought, what's all that about? He goes, mate, here's your coat. So he puts his coat back on. So I've no idea for that. I thought, is it going to be something down the route where they got to try to justify pull something out of the coat? But it wasn't any of that.
No,
fair enough. I mean, just
walked off with it.
For my final two penneth for this, I just think everyone is on form. It's just beautiful seeing Jon Pertwee and Liz Sladen straight away being awesome. Jon Pertwee's on form in these last sort of season as well. There's some great stories, not just this one. Sontaran, brilliantly played by Kevin Lindsay. Amazing script, Bob Holmes, great script editor, brilliant producer. This is fucking Doctor Who being awesome for me. It might sort of have these slight negatives and that, but at the time, I mean, I've always loved this, but at the time, this would have been fucking brilliant. Anyway, it's time to put some ye old camel brown carrots out of 10 on this. That's right, isn't it? Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Time for the scores. What ye old camel brown carrots would you give this out of 10? Cliff, we'll come to you first.
I'll give it a 7.5.
Oh, that's 7.5.
7.5 what, Cliff?
Ye old
black carrots.
Black carrots, amazing.
Carrots life matters.
Sounds like a group that Sean Ryder would make. Suki, give me ye old camel brown carrots out of 10, please.
I don't think it's a perfect story, but I quite enjoy it. And again, nostalgia value. So I'm going to give it a good 9 out of 10.
9!
9 out of 10.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, my God.
Oh, be quiet. 9 carrots.
9
Great, rotting carrots.
Motherfuckers.
The great white carrots.
Shut up, a lot of you.
That velvet coat.
I don't care.
John Boy, give me ye old camel brown carrots out of 10, please.
For Elizabeth Sladen and for the exceptional writing, it's getting a good old-fashioned 9 out of 10.
Well done, John.
Why, John? Why?
Wow.
Because
He's just giving you his reasons. He's just told you for a whole episode of a podcast.
I couldn't be asked. I couldn't be asked to watch Doctor Who last week. I think, I'm going to do Progtor Who. I put it on, and I was in there.
Brilliant.
All 4 episodes instantly. It was great fun.
Yeah, good.
9 out of 10.
Good.
I enjoyed it enough to give it a 9.
Give us ye old camel brown carrots out of 10.
Oh, well, obviously, I think I'm going to come in the lowest of the votes so far, but only marginally. I use 7 as my benchmark of a kind of typically average good Doctor Who story. So to me, this is typically average. So it's going on a 7.
7? Even the lowest, yeah. Oh, wow.
I am, yeah.
Wow.
You don't like
that's
Jon
yours yet,
Pertwee.
Bob. So
He does
you
not
could
like
be
Jon
lower if you
Pertwee.
want.
Well, I'm going to be joining you and John on a definite. I did with art about with 10 because I can't fault it. It's brilliant.
I can help you with that if you like, Bob.
I think you already have, but no, I'm definitely going to go down the road of 9. 9 eel brown camel, whatever I fucking said, out of 10. Lovely. Enough of what we think. It's time to find out what you thinking. Listeners' feedback. Right. Whoosh.
Are we not having music before that?
No. It's the
is that
we're gonna
coming at
play
the end?
last song.
Right.
Yeah.
I was a bit stingy there. I was going to go 7.5 like Cliff, but I thought just to.
You thought you'd take a little bit away.
I wouldn't like I was just like jumping the bandwagon when everyone having the same marks. I thought I'd just make myself look more like a bastard.
Cool. So we've got three bits of feedback. Right, is that all we've had in? Twitter and all that kind of shenanigans.
Where are we? There it is.
I'll just put what I could off Twitter in.
Yeah, that's cool. If we miss anyone, apologies, but hopefully that's all. Everything's in there, which is absolutely fine. Just say if you're happy and we're ready to go.
I'm happy and ready to go.
This makes me happy, John. And the YouTubers. Suky,
Fuck them
asleep?
though, but you know.
Have you fallen asleep, Suky?
Go to my channel.
No. I'm
We
just
good?
checking. I'm just checking.
Yeah.
There's nothing.
You cock.
Cliff, have you sent a review in?
Have you?
No, he replied.
I replied.
Was it?
I see. I'm going to say you're on the podcast now, Cliff. You don't have to do
You have to do that.
All right.
Yeah. Right. Just say when you're ready. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Well, you've heard us rabbit on for a while now, and you know what we think. But let's find out what you think. Listeners' feedback. I'm going to come to you first, Suky.
We've got Dwayne Bunny, and he's from the Audios of Sirens of Audio.
Every time.
Yeah, Sirens of Audio podcast. Sorry, Dwayne. And he's put, Sarah Jane enters all guns blazing, and we instantly love her despite still being sad about the departure of Joe in the previous episode. Lynx is an incredible character. I know the mask was redesigned for the next Sontaran appearance, but I think I prefer this one.
Yeah.
I want one of those Venetian blind shields. Right. That was cool.
Oh, yeah, the umbrella thing.
I forgot about that.
Oh, God, yeah.
Congrats on season 4 of Progtor Who, guys. However, I sense this was a wasted opportunity, as you should have cast a female Bob. Just saying.
Maybe.
I think everyone.
How do you know he
as
isn't?
well. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, I've through lockdown, I have been growing these, whatever they are. I'm going to come over to you now, Craig. Give us some readings.
I've got Mr. Mark Atkinson. Hello there, Mark. I have really strong memories. Yeah, thanks for choosing this one, Mark.
Yeah,
I have
definitely.
really strong memories of watching this story on original transmission, and I've seen it many times since, as it was one of the first VHS releases back in the mid-80s. It's a great story featuring the best Sontaran mask, costume, and characterization. I love the duo of Iron Gron and Blood Axe 2, and love how instantly strong the character of Sarah Jane is. Pertwee is good as always, and there's some wonderful Doctor moments throughout, along with the first ever mention of Gallifrey. It's a splendid story with sparkling dialogue from Robert Holmes, and I enjoyed it just as much this rewatch as I always have. It's a strong 8 out of 10 from me. Good luck with the podcast, guys, and welcome aboard, Cliff.
Thank you.
Places, Mark.
Awesome. Thank you, Mark. And thank you for this story. And that was a sincere thank you for this story because it's brilliant. Cliff, you give us this last one because you tried to comment on it apparently because you've maybe
Yeah, I tried to get my own. Yeah, forgot. This was from Aston Lord of Who.
Ooh.
Aston Lord of Who. Pertwee's hair by this point was big, very big. But what a story. The Sontaran costume was amazing. So much better than the later costumes. The story and plot is a little thin, but the atmosphere is great, so I forgive it. And it's certainly a classic. 9 out of 10.
Beautiful. Thank you very much indeed, listeners, for all of your feedback. Keeping it coming. We don't know what we're going to be watching next, but we'll find out very shortly. But before that, we're bringing it back It's time to vote for this month's Benny.
Oh God.
Benny!
Benny.
Benny. So Benny, and then randomizer Cliff.
Yeah.
Next month's story, we're done. And then Time Lord victorious. Okay. Right. It's Benny time. And for those who don't know what this means, we are now going to vote for who we perceive to be the best host of this podcast. And Cliff, you're the new boy. I'm going to come to you first. Who do you think's best host? Who's your Benny?
Who's my best one would have to be Suky.
Really? I mean, he has been very educational today.
Yeah, just purely. You know why? Because I written down on here because a load of notes, yeah, and then when it came over to Suky, he said every fucking one of them. So by the time it got to me, I was like when it got to Jonathan, it's like finish now.
Wait a second. I'm pretty sure I was the last one to give the note, so you had your chance.
Yeah, I had my chance. Sorry, mate.
I was.
You are.
I was the one that had to suffer that
but
tick in the box as Suky went through them.
It's meant to be a nice thing, the Benny, but
but it is nice because it's like I didn't have to say it. So no, it's just got a mound of knowledge. It's like a little oracle in his brain.
IMDb comes in handy. Very
little oracle. Lovely. Well, you got one then. That's nice, isn't it? It's okay.
Thank you. Yes, thank you, Cliff.
John, who's going to be your Benny? Do you think's been the best this week?
Well, you know, Craig's always near the top of my list, but
always
he's written, you know, a bit of a negative on the story, so fuck him. I think the best one, I think the best host so far has been the new boy, Cliff.
Yes!
Coming and burst a lot of people's eardrums.
Apologies, listeners.
Moist.
Clammy. Oh, that's nice, isn't it? So you got one each, lad, Suky and Cliff. Well done, Cliff. Well done.
I just ran over the dog's tail. Fucking hell.
Brilliant. We'll let you entertain yourself with hurting your dog. Who's your Benny, Craig?
Well, obviously, you know, I'm a bit torn. I was thinking about giving it to John, but
speaking to your fucking microphone.
Well, that's you not getting the fucking Benny. Actually, I'm going to give the Benny to Cliff as well. It's his first story. He's entertained me knowing by playing with the dog's tail online. So I'm definitely going with that. Definitely.
That's not a euphemism. It's not a euphemism.
Playing with dogs. Brilliant.
Watch the YouTube channel, you'll see what we mean.
Suky, who's going to be your Benny?
Well, obviously, we're all going to go for Cliff because, you know, welcome aboard, Cliff. All right, and you passed the test. You've been able to keep it up with the rest of us. Well, Bob mainly. But so I am gonna. It's gonna be definitely Cliff.
Cliff, of course it is. And you're gonna get. I'm gonna give you one and all, Sheps. It's been a pleasure. Everyone, thank you very much for joining the Progtor Who team. It's been great, and also for that fucking tremendous video that you did of our trailer.
Yeah,
if you've not seen that, head over to our YouTube channel. It's on there. Just put in Progtor Who in YouTube. You'll also be able to see this podcast, the raw footage of this podcast as well. Cool. Well done, Shep, and welcome aboard. It's time now to find out what we're watching for next month's podcast review. And we're going to do it with the randomizer.
Randomizer. I was interested to find out how we were actually going to do this.
There we go.
I'm excited about this.
We're going to find out. Right.
The randomizer.
Okay. The man with the power, the random power. We're going to come to Shep. Now, you get them balls a rolling and give us what we're going to be watching next month on a random styling.
So it is. Oh, you can't see.
Can't see your balls.
Can't see my balls.
Can't see your balls. Okay.
I'm hitting the randomizer now.
Oh, what we're going to
And it is number 79, Revenge of the Cybermen.
Oh, cool. Wow. We've not done that. That's amazing. So Tom Baker's first season, Revenge of the Cybermen.
Haven't we?
No, we've not done Revenge of the Cybermen. No, we haven't actually. No,
we've not. I've just watched it when the box set came out. The last Blu-ray's on there, isn't it? Oh, okay.
I had to check them, thinking my VBA had fucked up. No.
We didn't. I knew I'd seen it recently. It was the box set.
Yeah. All right. Well, there you go, listeners. We'll be reviewing Suki's got a box set out. He loves getting his DVDs out.
Of
bless
course
him.
it is.
He
Some-
gets
not a
everything out on
fact.
YouTube, doesn't he?
gives
Yeah.
him something to do.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's Tom Baker's Revenge of the Cybermen for next time. Well done, Suki's got a DVD out of a box and showed it to us. There you go, YouTubers. Not there you go. Well, not there you go, listeners, because you can't fucking see it. He does it every time. It's one of his things.
It's the only thing I can do on this
Yeah.
podcast.
Well, thank
guys
you.
keep talking over me.
There's
You won't let
no
me say
knowledge.
anything. I
Thank you
sit
very
here quiet. I'm trying to say something, but of course,
well, wish you would sit there fucking quiet while I try and finish this show.
There's nothing worse than
hurry
trying to
up, Bob,
finish
I wanna
off
get
with
to
someone
work.
distracting you.
Yeah.
Right. Well, thank you very much for listening. I hope you've enjoyed the first episode of season 1. And thank you very much
Four.
indeed for whatever it is. I don't even know anymore. I don't know what fucking year it is. But yeah, thank you very much for joining me, guys, as well. Just if you made it to the end of the podcast, well, thank you first of all. But we're going to be doing a little bonus of episodes. We're going to be reviewing the Time Lord Victorious stuff. And putting that in between every monthly episode. So it could be quite interesting, but we're not going to make a song and dance about it. It'll just appear. Anyway, until next time, bye!
bye, lighters. Right. So stop recording on this and send it.
No, just keep
Or we're
recording.
going to carry on. We're
Keep-
going
Bob, are you putting a song in there anyway? Is there a third song at the end?
And back in time. Oh, wow. Oh, time travel is fantastic, isn't it? Doctor Who fans. But yeah, because I in fact, I wasn't looking at my notes.
I wish
properly.
I'd chosen Kylie Step Back in Time right now. Put it on the
It would
list.
have been relevant. Anyway, apologies. I'm about to roll the D20 to find out what song we're going to be playing out with. So here we go. 11. Let's have a look at that. Oh, fuck off. It's Craig. It's Craig with Shares Strong Enough.
Oh, come
Oh
on.
my
It's a
fucking
cracking
God.
song.
In the strong
enough
to
Anyway,
live with.
I'm gonna forward time. I'm gonna forward time to after the song.
No.
Forward time.
Back,
They are all classics. Every one of
you
those
go back in
songs.
time and kill me so I don't have to fucking listen to this.
Kill me at birth. Bye.
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 Wow.
Oh, fuck, I said bye. Shit.
Got you there, John.
Yeah,
Got you there.
Didn't
Right.
mean to.